Check, check. Hello. Hey, everybody. We're going to start soon, so go ahead and sit down. We'll give you another, like 5 minutes so everybody can sit down. And then we're going to get started. Check. All right, everybody. We're going to get started now. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming tonight. This is really exciting. Welcome to the Internet Archive. Those servers back there are representing a file being uploaded or downloaded at any given time. That's what all the twinkly lights are. And it's really nice to have another Aaron Swartz event here. It's been a little while, so we're really happy about that. And we're happy to see so many of you. This is great. So we are here tonight, as you well know, for the unveiling of this statue of Aaron Swartz. Let's see. So yeah, I was pretty excited. Pablo Peniche wrote us last year, and he'd really done most of the work already. By the time he wrote us to tell us about it, he got donations together, he commissioned an artist, and he had this thing created, and it looks great, and we're really happy about it, and it's going to live somewhere in San Francisco. We don't know where yet, but until then, it will live here. So that's why we wanted to have this event, and so we could celebrate together, remember Aaron, and also thank Pablo for his work in doing this. Let's all give Pablo a round of applause. All right. We're going to start things off with a video of some people that wish they could be here tonight, including the Aaron Swartz Institute from Brazil, who's been going on for about 2 or 3 years now. They popped up over the pandemic and doing amazing things with digital literacy and hackathons and all sorts of stuff, so you will see that too. And you'll also see Andre Sobral, who is one of my co-hosts on the Aaron Swartz podcast that we do once a month. And you'll see Gavin Grimm, who is my other co-host. I just added Gavin as a co-host to the podcast, so we're excited about that. Gavin is a future Aaron. He is one of the future Aarons that we vowed to protect when we started Aaron Swartz Day. He when he was a teenager, he headed up the ACLU trans youth bathroom case, school trans bathroom case, and won. So I'm really trying to go back to the roots of what we started out doing, protecting Aarons, encouraging young people to do things, encouraging young activists to do the things that we all should be doing. So like I said, it's really excited. It's a little bit of a renaissance that's happening right now in Aaron Swartz land, and the statue happening without me doing anything was a wonderful thing to wake up to one day. So let's get started. We're going to show you this video, and then we're going to have another speaker. Emmett Shear is here, and he's going to talk for a little bit, and then Pablo is going to rehearse some words from Pablo personally. All right, roll video.
Hey everyone, this is Cory Doctorow, and I have the great honor to welcome all of you to the unveiling of the Aaron Swartz statue tonight at the Internet Archive. I wish I could be there with you tonight. I'm out doing things that I guess Aaron would have approved of, and I just want to say how exciting it is to know that all of you are there in person with each other in community to honor Aaron with this statue that Pablo Peniche commissioned in his memory. Aaron was always oriented towards hope and action. I think Aaron, his gift was that he understood that even if you couldn't figure out how to get all the way to the end, how to get all the way from A to Z, the place that you wanted to be at, that if you could take one step, if you could do one thing that materially improved your circumstances, that you would ascend the gradient towards the better world, and that as you climbed that gradient, new terrain would become visible to you, steps that you can take now that that first step has been taken that weren't visible until you tried it. You know, hope consists, I think, of this iterative hill climbing, this taking one step, seeing what you can do now that that step has been taken, and then taking another. I think Aaron understood that the world in which you lay out a plan that gets you all the way to the end is the world of the novelist, not the world of the activist. I do both of those things. It's fun to dream that you can find your way all the way to the end as a kind of thought experiment, but the world's a lot messier. We need hope right now. This is a time when hope is really in short supply. And I hope that tonight, as you sit there with each other, as you mingle, as you are in community, as you converse, as you plan and scheme the way Aaron always did, that this statue, this event, inspires you to have some hope, to plan a thing that you can do to make the world a little better in some material way, not because that'll solve all of your problems, but because every time you take a step up that gradient, you find new steps that are available to you that weren't available before. And that's what hope is. Good night.
Hi, everyone. I'm terribly sorry that I can't be with you today, because we could all use some time together and some hope and mutual support in these times. But I'm glad that you're all together, and I hope that you look around and make connections with the people in this room. You're all together because Aaron Swartz meant something to you. And Aaron's legacy is bringing people together to make change. You know, we still miss him at EFF, although he was never formally part of our staff. He was part of our community. And we need to have that same spirit, that spirit where we've got each other's backs and we develop connections and we try to move forward in smart ways on issues that we care about. So thank you for taking the time to come together. And I hope you'll use this time to deepen the bonds that keep us together as a community. And I wanted to give a special thanks to Pablo Peniche for pulling together the idea of a statue, a physical reminder of Aaron and the good that he did and the truth and justice that he stood up for. It's going to be an amazing thing, and I hope will continue to inspire people for years and years. I'm amazed at the ongoing impact of Aaron and the generations of people who are inspired by him, and I think this statue will help us continue that, even as the generation of those of us who knew him may not be central to the story anymore. So thank you. This is the what statues are good for, and thanks again for putting it together, and to all of you for showing up. What I tend to do every year at the Aaron Memorial is go through some of the key things that Aaron stood up for and give you kind of a state of play of those issues. And so I wanted to quickly kind of go through where we are on 3 of the things that Aaron cared deeply about, because they're all things where we have made some progress, where, kind of in the Corey model, where we search for the next step and use that step to take us the next step. We have taken a couple of steps, but there is still work to be done. The one where we've gotten the farthest is on open access to knowledge. We were just delighted to see that in the Biden administration in 2022, they issued an order that said that all federally funded research needs to be immediately available to the public as of 2026. Now, in 2013, we got an order saying that it needed to be available after a year, but making it immediately available is a huge step forward, and one that really honors Aaron's legacy. This is the work that he was doing over and over again during his lifetime, which was making all the world's knowledge available to all the world's people, and specifically the piece of knowledge that we pay for as Americans, taxpayers, needs to be available to all of us. And I'm very happy to see, that actually really moving forward. Now, we're already seeing efforts in Congress to try to scale back the Biden administration's move. It would not surprise me if we didn't have ongoing fights about this. And so we're still going to need to stand up for open access, but at least this is ground we get to defend rather than ground we need to take. Second, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. That is one of the laws that was used to prosecute Aaron. It is terribly overbroad and vague, and it is some of that overbreadth that really caused a lot of the personal problems for Aaron. Now, we've made some strides there too. We have got a Supreme Court decision that scaled back the CFAA, but we're still fighting to defend the breadth of that decision and to extend it even further. It's really important that computer crime statutes not be used to, persecute people who do security research, who do other research, who are taking steps to try to liberate information that we should have available to us as well. So there's still more work to be done for the CFAA, but again, we've made some great strides in the time since we lost Aaron with those. And then the third one is mass surveillance. This was an issue that was near to Aaron's heart as well. And again, it's one where we're making iterative progress. Over the years, we've seen the scope of mass surveillance be scaled back in some critical ways, although it's still way, way too broad. Just last month, we got an order out of a court in New York that is many years in the making, but that holds that backdoor searches of collected mass surveillance information by the NSA violate the Constitution. This is a big step forward. The case is called Hasbrajani, and if we can take that decision and move it forward in the courts, or get Congress to scale back Section 702 when it's up for renewal next year, we can continue to make progress on those things. These are long fights. The people that we're up against and the power that we're up against are far greater than us. These are David and Goliath type battles. But the best thing about being, on the David side is there are a lot of us Davids, and we need to gather together and make our voices heard and continue to push. These battles will not be won in one fell swoop. They are going to be won inch by inch. But we've made progress on all three of the things that I mentioned that Aaron cared about and worked with EFF on. And I think we can continue to make progress as long as we don't lose hope and we keep connected with each other and we continue to grow the movement that Aaron helped start. I think that this statue and the work that we're doing together is a really important way that we do that, and I commend all of you and invite all of you to continue that work and to feel good about it, because we're on the right side of history and we just need to keep pushing forward. Thanks.
Hello everyone, this is Kevin Grimm. I am so excited that people get to gather together for this event today. I wish I could be part of it, but instead I am happy to send this video to celebrate this moment and talk a little bit about where my mind is at when I think about Aaron and being able to honor him like this. I have to say I'm very glad that we are still talking about Aaron, honoring Aaron and his legacy, and I want to uplift that for me, when I think of the legacy that Aaron left behind, I think about how important it is to do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do, even if it's not popular or easy or even particularly safe. And so I'm just so glad that we can have this event. We can recognize Aaron's works and the legacy that he has left for all of us to share together. And I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to send this video and share a little bit in that space. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful time honoring him and experiencing this event in person and gets to really enjoy this piece of art that his legacy has inspired. I am very grateful to the legacy of Aaron Swartz and very grateful for the motivation that it offers me in moving forward in this particularly difficult time. And so I hope that everybody has a wonderful time and that this art piece finds a perfect home.
Oi, eu sou Melissa, tenho 10 anos e eu sou estudante do Instituto. Hoje eu vou mostrar para vocês a nossa nova série. Vem comigo!
compartilhar. E eu tô suspeita para falar que eu adoro o hackathon. Trabalhar com essa equipe foi muito gostoso. A gente se desafiou e conseguiu entregar um desafio bem legal. Realmente vai ter impacto social.
Meu nome é Matheus Franco, sou da equipe Meio Caminho e é uma experiência super legal, adoro participar desse tipo de desafio e mais uma vez agora, né, dessa vez que eu fui os vencedores, é uma experiência super bacana.
Bom, eu sou o Xuxa, algumas pessoas me conhecem como Fábio. Foi muito legal participar, eu não conhecia toda a história do Aaron e participar disso, ver que eu tinha mais coisas em comum do que eu imaginava no começo, foi muito legal, entender que eu estou no caminho certo, acho que ganhar foi uma validação disso. Então, foi muito prazeroso. Agradeço a todo mundo que viabilizou isso. E minha equipe também, no meio caminho, é nóis. E agradecer ao Céu também, que é o nosso background e é o que nos trouxe pra cá, né? Sendo de empresa do Unveiling lá em cima.
Pessoal, sou o Theo Calvo falando do Brasil e eu gostaria de passar para deixar um recado só dizendo um pouco sobre como que o Aaron me inspirou a ser uma pessoa que gera conteúdo na internet, buscando a emancipação do conhecimento, buscando ajudar outras pessoas, buscando que o acesso à informação e à educação seja uma questão social importante e que deva ser pautada e executada. Então eu tenho um projeto chamado Tell Me Why, que foi criado pensando em tudo isso, nas provocações que Aaron fazia para a sociedade. Isso me inspirou muito a querer fazer algo a respeito, a querer dividir aquele conhecimento que eu tenho com outras pessoas. Então gostaria de só deixar esse recado, dizendo que a minha principal motivação hoje de estar envolvido no instituto que leva o nome dele, Instituto Aaron Swartz, e o meu canal, a minha iniciativa, se deve muito a todas as questões da vida que o Aaron teve e como que ele respirava e admirava essa questão de educação e acesso à informação. Então um grande abraço para todo mundo que está por aí. Eu espero que possamos um dia nos reunir, confraternizar em nome de Aaron Swartz.
Meu nome é André Sobral. Hoje eu sou pesquisador de pós-doutorado na Universidade da Virgínia, no Laboratório de Tecnologias Digitais para a Democracia, onde eu estudo fake news. Entre outros projetos, eu estou aqui escrevendo um livro sobre o Aaron Swartz. Como um sociólogo que foi se aventurar na área da computação, eu quero hoje falar para vocês sobre um Aaron menos conhecido, um Aaron que era apaixonado pela sociologia. Um Aaron que, apesar do seu talento na área de computação, descrevia a si mesmo no antigo Twitter como um sociólogo aplicado. É importante falar sobre isso porque muitos têm uma imagem do Aaron como o gênio da computação, que vivia apenas atrás de algum código para resolver os problemas da sociedade. Esse não é o Aaron sobre o qual quero lhes contar hoje. Eu quero apresentar um Aaron engajado, um Aaron militante, que tinha certeza que há sempre algo a ser feito. E mais importante, o fazia. É sobre esse Aaron que eu desejo falar mais. Um garoto solidário, aberto a mudanças, um formador de comunidades, um militante dedicado à justiça social e aos mais necessitados. Nós não precisamos de mais gênios ou mártires. Precisamos de ativistas. Pessoas que estejam dispostas a construir pontes. Gente ousada que não aceita nada menos do que o máximo que podemos fazer.
Yeah, sorry, the subtitles got covered up a little bit there. I think you can hopefully tell the gist of what people were saying, and that video, of course, will be on the Aaron Swartz YouTube channel. So now we're going to have a couple speakers. Oh, great. Emmett Shear is the first speaker. He's just going to say a few words. Emmett actually knew Aaron when he was a teenager, when I worked with him, and so it was really interesting to talk to Emmett and compare notes about working with a 15-year-old and everything we were learning from him at the time. So Emmett, come on up and say a few words, please.
Thank you. I met Aaron in 2005 in Boston when we were both in Y Combinator together. And Aaron was a kid then. I was also a kid. I was only, 4 years older than him or something. And I felt a lot older than him at the time, but now I look back and I see that I was also just very much a child. And Aaron taught me something very important. Aaron became an archetype in my mind, because I had these very long arguments with him about everything, like hours and hours. There's a few people in the world who I've had these epic discussions with. And Aaron, unlike me and unlike almost anyone else I knew, he would just like email people that he'd been reading the papers of. He would go and he would join the working group and just start contributing to the RFC about the new format. He would just go participate. And what I learned from Aaron was a kind of heroic responsibility, which is not a responsibility that anyone can be obligated to, and it's not a responsibility that you can ever truly, fully succeed at. It's this kind of responsibility where you see something is important and you realize that there isn't cavalry. There is no one coming to save us. We are going to have to save us. And so you go and you show up. Even though no one tapped you on the shoulder and no one told you that it's your job, you go anyway. And Aaron did that consistently, and it was something that I didn't really actually understand until later. I don't think I really understood how he saw the world until I was in my 30s. I guess I was a little slower on the uptake than he was. And I am glad that he's become a symbol, and I think he would approve of that. But I really miss him. He was like a really special person, and I wish you could all hear his takes today on AI or on like the politics, because I guarantee you they would have been very spicy. And I'm sad we don't get to have them. And I'm a little angry with him about it. But like, he lived a really good life, and he did some really important things. And I think he is rightly an inspiration. I'm glad this is here. Thank you, Pablo.
All right. And now a few words from Pablo Paniche, who's did all this. And let's give him another round of applause.
Hey, my name is Pablo. Some of you already know me. I'm just a humble builder and a tech pro who saw a duty left to be done. I never met Aaron Swartz. I first heard his name when he stood against SOPA, fighting to keep the internet free, fighting so that speech would not be silenced under the guise of protection, so that knowledge would not be caged behind walls. I never met Aaron, but I knew this. He was one of us, a dreamer, a builder, a tech pro, a believer in something larger than himself, and he should not be forgotten. The seed of this project was planted years ago when I heard a talk with Peter Thiel on how our culture has gotten so sharp. A culture war has gotten so sharp, how our small differences have bred large divides. He suggested a way to mend this rift. We should honor those who unite us. He spoke of a ticker tape parade for Satoshi Nakamoto in New York. I took this idea seriously, and I did a lot of research trying to make it happen. But I was a one man and with no institution behind me. It was too much to do alone. Then a year later, I came across a company called Monumental Labs. It sculpts marble statues out of robotic arms. I thought this was magical almost. By then, I was moving to San Francisco, and in that moment, it just struck me like a hammer to stone. Aaron Swartz deserved a statue, a monument that to what he stood for, not a tiny plaque, but something permanent, carved into history itself. I reached out to Aaron's mother. I cannot express enough the gratitude for her allowing me to pursue this vision. But visions alone do not bring marble to life. I had no money, I had no location, and without a location, I could not get permits, and without permits, I could not raise funds. It was a cold start problem, so I did the only thing I could. I took a leap of faith. I emptied the small savings I had and spent it on the design. And once we had something tangible, something real, something that Aaron's mother could look at and say, yes, this is him, we began carving. I signed a contract to pay for the full statue, knowing I did not yet have the money. But once the chisel touched stone, the world responded. I want to thank Max Novenstern, our greatest benefactor, Richard Crabe, the first to believe in this project when it was just an idea, Owen McCabe, Martin Kopelman, Eric Voorhees, and Rivates. Without your generosity, this would not have happened. I want to, yes, please. I want to thank Noah Cumming from the Mars Review of Books for being our fiscal sponsor. I want to thank the Internet Archive for being for giving this statue a temporary home, sheltering it until we place it in a public square. I want to thank Lisa, Evan, and Emmett, and all my friends who've helped throughout the event. I'm in debt to you. But this statue is not just about remembering Aaron. It's about remembering what he stood for. I'm not here to sell you any politics, left or right. These are words that shift with meanings, shadows on the wall. I'm speaking of something deeper, something older, something that once defined what it means to be a part of the internet. 1, freedom of speech. 2, freedom of access to information, which is what the Internet Archive stands for. And privacy. These 3 things are not just principles. These are pillars. The foundation upon which innovation, discovery, and human progress stand. Without them, we do not advance, we wither. And make no mistake, the battle is not over. The same forces that Aaron stood against are still here. Builders are still being hunted. We have seen voices silenced, ideas buried, knowledge locked away. Now, under the banner of safety, even artificial intelligence, our greatest frontier, is being muscled. This is not about one nation, one ideology, one faction. It's about something larger. It's about the internet itself. This statue stands as a reminder, not to teach. I'm not here to teach you about something new, but to make you remember something you already know. Aaron Swartz stood for core internet values: freedom of speech, freedom of access, and privacy. Let us remember him not just in stone, but in action. Let us honor him and keep the fight of the free internet alive. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight, and we have another hour where you can talk and have some nibbles and a drink and mingle and stuff like that. So I encourage you to do that. And everybody at home that's watching, thanks a lot for tuning in. And we'd really like to see all of you, tune into the Aaron Swartz podcast and keep an eye out for Aaron Swartz Day this November. And we're just really excited that there's kind of a new Aaron renaissance of sorts. And so it's always a rush of so many different emotions when we do these Aaron events. And I just want to thank everybody for coming and encourage you all to keep up the fight. And that iterations thing that Corey was talking about is real. Aaron literally taught me about iterations. In 2002, when we were doing the Creative Commons spec. He got me on IRC. He was, I wasn't really a hacker, I don't think, till I was hanging out with Aaron. And everybody's like, yeah, Lisa, you know, you're hanging out. Your new best friend is a 15-year-old, huh? Okay, Lisa. It was really interesting explaining that to my bosses at Creative Commons. Everybody looks back now like it was an obvious thing, but back then it wasn't an obvious thing. It was, why is this 15-year-old coming to all of our technical meetings? And who is this kid? Why do we have to fly him to Boston for our technical meeting? Why did Lawrence Lessig say that we just can't do it without him? So, yeah, that's what kind of stuff is rushing through my head. So thanks again for coming, and stay in touch. We have more of a community now. It's really starting to grow again, and we just want to keep up the momentum and take that next step and see where it leads us. So thanks a lot for coming, and have a good night, and trying to stay positive in 2025, despite everything. That's what we're going to do. Thanks a lot. Good night. Yeah, and after you see this big statue, you might look at the little statue, which is an Internet Archive statue of Aaron from when he was a teenager and hung out here a lot. You can see it over there on the left hand, stage right. All right, thanks a lot.